So today I'm going to show you how to make a case for your face masks. We are required at this point in a lot of counties to wear a mask when you go to the store or even going out on a walk, and rather than putting your mask in a pocket of your purse or in like a ziploc bag, I'm going to show you how to make a little case to make sure that your mask is going to stay nice and clean and separate from the other stuff in your purse. So this is the case. It has two pockets. I have two masks in here right now, so you can make one with two little pockets, and this makes it nice and easy to carry your masks and still have them separate from everything else in your bag and have them stay nice and clean. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that, how to add the bias binding around your pockets, and how to make this little case. You can do it out of fabric, or I'm going to actually walk you through with vinyl because I think vinyl is nice and easy to wipe clean, and I think it's going to stay nice and sanitary. So you can either use fabric or vinyl, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps on how to make this case. The first thing that you're going to do for your case is you're going to cut yourself some pieces of vinyl. So I have, these are a little hard to see because they are clear vinyl, but this is 10 inches long by 5.5 inches wide. So looking at it all put together so you can kind of see the width on that, it's going to be 5.5 inches wide by 10 inches long. So you're going to need one piece of vinyl 10 inches by 5.5. Then you're going to need two pocket pieces that are 5.5 inches wide, so 5.5 wide by 4.5 inches tall. So these here, 5.5 inches wide, 4.5 inches tall, and you are going to need two of those pieces. One for your pocket down here, and one for your pocket up here. You are going to curve the edges. That's going to make it easy for us. There's our edges curved right there. That's going to make it easy for us to add the bias binding without having to do mitered corners. So you can use a cup, you can use a plate, anything to just round off your corners. And you're going to do that on your main vinyl piece, and you're going to do that on both of your pocket pieces. So you're going to want curved corners on all of those. Your next step is going to be to make your bias binding. To make the bias strips for this project, you are going to cut 2-inch wide strips on the bias. So these are stretchy. You're going to fold those in half and press. Then you're going to fold the raw edges into the center, and you're going to press this again. Then you're going to take the whole strip and press it in half. This is going to make your bias trim. It's going to be nice and stretchy, and it's going to go smoothly around your curves. Once you have your binding made, you are going to take a piece of binding and you're going to place it onto the top edge of each of your pocket pieces. When you're working with vinyl, you don't want to use any pins because you don't want to poke any additional holes in the vinyl. So you can use wonder clips to hold that in place. And then I have a non-stick foot on my machine just in case I have trouble stitching over the vinyl. And I'm going to stitch this binding onto my pocket piece. So I'm stitching kind of just about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. So once you stitch your first pocket piece, you're going to stitch your next pocket piece. And there are my two pockets. After you've stitched the binding onto the top edge of your pockets, you're going to place your pockets onto your background piece of vinyl, and now you're going to take your binding and you're going to stitch it all the way around the entire case. I'm just going to use a straight stitch to stitch my binding in place, but as you get around your curves, you are going to kind of pull and stretch your binding around the curve. This is why you want to cut bias strips, because then they are going to stretch really nicely around your curve and shape really nicely. So as you stitch, you're just going to curve this around. Because you have that clear vinyl, you can see that your backing is going to get caught at the same time as your front. When you get to the beginning where you left off, you are going to cut yourself just about an inch of extra. You're going to fold this under, and I usually like to use a glue stick to hold this in place so that way it's going to be the same front and back when I finish stitching this down. But you're just going to tuck under that edge and you're going to stitch that in place. And that way your binding is finished on the front and finished on the back. So once you have all of your binding on, your case is finished, you can place your face masks in there. Whichever kind of cleaner you prefer or disinfectant, you are going to want to try it on a little scrap piece of your vinyl first to make sure it's not going to warp the vinyl or scratch it or damage it. So alcohol is generally okay. You may need to water it down a little bit, but you could definitely try on just a little scrap piece before you use it to clean and sanitize your case. You can also make this out of fabric if you prefer to do fabric instead of vinyl. I would recommend using a quilted fabric, or you can quilt your own fabric. All the pieces can be the exact same size, but I would do a quilted case so that you can throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer, also nice and easy to clean just like your mask. Hopefully this inspires you to make your own face mask case, so that way you can make sure that as you are cleaning and washing your masks, you're making sure that you are putting them into a clean and safe place in your purse so that they can protect you. If you do have any questions on this project, please let us know. You can send us a DM, you can send us an email, and we'd be happy to help answer any of your questions.